having tea.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Craft Tea, and we are back from, Sarah's back from her trip to Oklahoma to the Two Moms live event, so we're going to get into that a little bit. I just want to preface the episode first. We talked a little bit, we're finally going to start getting into a lot more of the actual like nitty gritty type tea stuff that we originally intended for with the show. Sometimes it just takes a little bit to get that comfortability to open up some, but I do want to say that anytime that we're talking about any situations that we ever had with any other companies or any other individuals in particular, we're going to change names out. So it's not in our, it's not in our personal way to just call out people directly like that and stuff. But we do feel the need to kind of air some of this stuff out. So
it's literally just telling a story of something that happened to us also. Like, it's not always talking shit.
Right.
This is actually stuff that we lived through and and happened to us, and we've never been able to
literally just
tell anyone. I mean, we for different reasons.
Yeah, it's not even like stirring it. It's just telling shit that happened.
And not just today's stories, but all of them. They all for different reasons.
Yeah. So, without further ado, let's start from the top, though. Like, what's
I was gonna say,
up,
do we
man?
make them wait, or do we talk?
No, yeah, you gotta
go right
wait
into it.
No, we're gonna just go back to. I just wanted to do the little preface, you know.
We'll mix it all in.
That's right. So what's up, though?
We're going back on a plane.
Yeah, but let's talk about the plane that you just were on.
All right. So I didn't have to bring Alex this time. It was just me. Had a quick flight out on Friday. It was nice. We got there. Everything was great. I met so many people. I don't know if I knew what to expect when I went, but they had a great. If you ask me, I think I had a great time. But it was different for me because and that's the first. So Jessica Flynn was there. I talked to her a little bit. She was one of the first people I got to see when I went to the actual hall. And me and Jess had happened to be running to the bathroom, and that's where she was going anyway. So we all just went. And she was done, she said. So I guess there was a schedule, but then the schedule got a little messed up because whose schedules don't, right?
Yeah.
So I think Jessica noticed that there was like someone needed to be like, hey, I'm going to go. Let's just get the ball rolling, right? Someone had to be the one to say it, so she did, luckily. And, it wasn't even 10 o'clock yet, and she was done. I was like, for the day? And she's like, for the weekend. I was like, hell yeah. So that was just one of the things that me and her talked about real quick, and I talked about with Kirsten and a few other people, is that people like us, we don't have experiences like that. Like, when we're at these events, these conventions, we're always busy. We're always doing something. We're always either running a booth, teaching classes, never, ever have time to just
Even
leisurely
just
mingle.
People is work.
Oh, yes.
It is.
That is a lot of work.
It is exhausting to just
And it
put on the
wasn't that
face.
many people to where if you had to meet and greet with everyone in that room, it still would not have been that exhausting of a weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was really cool for people, like us on the other side of those conventions that never get that kind of time to just hang out and talk. And I talked to everyone.
Oh, I know. You're a social butterfly.
I'm a little butterfly.
Especially if you have some mimosas.
I like mimosas. But yeah, I met a whole bunch of people that I didn't even think about. So people that definitely stuck out to me was Vicky and Reba. Loved them. If I don't grow up to be just like them, I don't want to grow up. They are just two older women. They do as many of these conventions as they can. They seem to do it together.
They come to the Craft Expo?
I think they are. They weren't at first. I know that Vicky said last year she had bought the VIP bag, but I don't think she went to the event. Vicky's from Florida. I forget where Reba said she was from. So I'm pretty sure that we convinced them to either come to the Misfit Makers tour or the convention. I forget which one that they said that they're definitely going to come to, but I know we're going to be seeing them ladies again. It was me, Jess, Jerry. I got to meet Jess's husband, Nick. He's super awesome. I love them two together. We're adorable. And
I saw his blazer looked awesome.
Yeah, he was killing it. And then Vicky and Reba, and of course Marcy and Kirsten, because we went down with them. And you know me, I'm a hot mess. My adult was not there. You are my adult. So every time I was like, I'm trying to keep it together because my adult's not here and I need to keep all my stuff together. I did not. Vicky just followed me around and collected all my belongings that I would leave places. She was sweet, though. They were both really sweet. We
I'm
had a
not
lot of fun with
surprised.
them.
I said I'm not surprised.
No, I know. It's, Um, I met a few of the content creators that I've never met. Vanessa Davis, obsessed with her. I started watching her, I think it was fall of 2020. She did that, the Christmas light cup that I tried. That was one of the first cups I tried to recreate and failed miserably because I bubble up my epoxy too much and then I gave up on it. But I really liked her video and I always wanted to meet her and I got to. She was hands down the prettiest girl at the after party also. I think she's so pretty. Her dress killed it. But she definitely stuck out. I really enjoy her. I met Swery Kim. I was not a big follower before, of course, everyone knows everyone anymore, but she was very nice. I enjoyed her. She was very nice to me. I got to meet Suzanne from PDB Blanks. That was for the second time. That's a story for another time. But she was also super sweet. Rhonda made me a duck. Oh, man. There's a woman that I met that works for Two Moms. She told me her name. For the life of me, I can't remember, but I'll never forget her face. She was so much fun. She said she's a big Glitter Guy fan. I think she was hilarious. She was very nice. I met Becky from the Glitter Ranch. She was there doing like interviews for her YouTube station. YouTube station? No.
Channel.
YouTube channel. Her whole station. So she did, I was not on her list, but she did squeeze me in on an interview, and I don't think I did that bad.
Little
she's
impromptu guy?
Yeah, she's going to email me.
I know how you love impromptu interviews.
I was a little standoffish.
We didn't even shoot this yesterday because it felt too impromptu for you.
Well, I felt sick yesterday. I was a whole hot mess. But, you know how it is. But yeah, I did well. Jerry pushed me to do it, and I'm glad that she did because it was fun, and I got to talk to Becky and meet someone new. And hopefully she comes to the expo. I did throw it out there a few times that we'd love to have her because I feel like I'm having, well, not anymore because, I talked to a few people last night, and I'm feeling better about the glitter selections we're going to have at the expo. I met Melissa from Caesar. Everyone always says Sizer.
I know.
I
try to say that on every.
He said Caesar, like the dressing, so you won't ever forget it if you think about Caesar dressing.
Well, I think actually about like the ruler.
What ruler?
Caesar, like not a measuring device, but Caesar.
Oh, Caesar the ruler.
Yeah, the one that was like out there.
Yeah.
Rolling stuff.
He was a Roman.
Or you can think of Caesar's Pizza in Bristol. Because I do think about that a lot.
I know you do.
Go on.
Anyway, I adored her. So she was there, obviously, for the Caesar booth. And when everything was done, I asked her, because obviously she didn't have anyone behind the booth with her. So I was like, did they just send you here by yourself? And they did. So I invited her to come out with the girls to go to dinner, which we wound up not going to dinner anyway. She ran over and got a really cute dress and met us back for drinks before the red carpet party, and then we all just kind of went together, and me and her hung out a lot at the party, and I really enjoyed her. I hope that she's going to be the one to come to our expo, because I got to remember to send her all the event stuff.
You guys going to go float in the lazy river together?
I'm going to have to be working. It's going to be torture. I'm going to be I'm going to look at her. We're going to give each other that look, and I know because we had a connection. You know when you just feel like a connection?
Yeah.
Well, you do. You have BFFs like that? Because I was about to retract that.
Taylor's my BFF.
He is. I do have to say that. But it was one of those things where it's just like, we're best friends now? All right, cool. Let's go. So I know if she comes to the expo, it's going to be like, all right, but we do have to work, right? But she was fun. And of course, I met Mel and Christina from Dimensional Drinks in person finally, and they're freaking adorable. I love them. I almost dumped Mel's whole drink out because I was still early on in the day, and
did they bring a bunch of stuff that they made?
They did.
Oh, like everything.
So I was still on my anxiety high by the time they had come by us, because there was this one bar in the middle of the hotel, kind of. It was like central, so I kept getting everyone to just like stay there when we didn't have anywhere to go because people passed by. So I'm still on my anxiety high, and I'm just like acting like an idiot, you know me, when I'm nervous. And I'm like, oh, this cup is so awesome. It's great. She's like, there's lemonade in it. I'm like, all right, then I'm just gonna not touch any of your belongings for a little bit until I calm down. I did that a second time to someone else later on, just to let you know. I'm like, this is
You
great.
forget cups are for drinking out of.
It was a really, really, really great cup, though. She used her book. Uh, what are they what would you say? They're add-ons? I keep
Sleeves.
calling them sleeves. I kept calling them add-ons.
I mean, it is
Sleeves.
an
No, they're
add-on.
sleeves. It was
Yeah.
phenomenal. She had some sleeves with her that are not on their website yet. I know now because so they made us deduct one, and I have no idea what we were going to do with it yet. But now I know what I want to do, and you're going to think I'm nuts, but I'm going to bling it.
You bling whatever you want.
I'm
You
going to
do.
bling the whole duck
We
eventually.
got a whole bunch of bling actually.
Yeah, well, I got to
Here.
get new bling because I don't have any yellow bling.
You can't just. I thought honestly that it can work like hacked, and you can paint them yellow and then bling it. I've seen them.
You can do that.
Yeah, that sounds more affordable.
Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll do. We'll see what I do. I don't know. I don't even know how many
we'll
how many rhinestones it'll take to cover
seriously,
the duck.
the sidebar, the dimensional drink things, man. I love them so much. Like those sleeve things, and you can attest the rectangle one is on my desk right now
I
because
know.
I keep it there for like anytime I'm at my desk and I'm like just deep in thought about anything. I just like stare at that thing and brainstorm ideas for it. You can ask the office staff. I'll just be like, oh, yeah, it could be this,
That's.
or it could be this. So,
I'm so glad that you're saying that because literally what you're saying is what I told Mel and Christina you do at your desk. I'm like, he'll just be sitting there and it's silent, and then you'll be like, I know what it's gonna be. I
yeah,
know.
I'm
And I'm
just not
like,
saying any of the. I'm saying this because I don't want to take my ideas before I get to make
and
them.
I told her that. I'm like, he'll like give you things that are going through his head, but he will not tell you what he's visualizing. He will not tell you what he's picturing, and you're just like, all right, but what is it? And I told him that you were trying to submit an idea to them, but it's got to be the best idea, and that you're coming up with something for all the sleeves, honestly.
I even we just ordered last weekend. I mean, also, I don't know. Sometimes it's like every couple years, I feel like I need a new toy to play with, even though I don't play with the toys that we have quite enough.
We're getting
Um,
there.
but I ordered us a UV resin printer, and partially my decision was because of the dimensional drink thing. I am excited about the idea of being able to create assets or add-ons, design them, 3D print them with the UV printer, have them super lightweight, and affix them to the shapes that they're already giving you as a base. Like especially with like the cake one, I can like resin print all kinds of different cake accessories and stuff. Really awesome. I'm excited
They
for
got
it.
some really cool stuff coming out. That's a company to watch for sure, and I'm gonna be watching them with both eyes.
Yeah.
But they're sweet. I expected them to be sweet because I've been talking to them on Messenger, but
We should start doing like a spotlight segment or something,
ooh, I
and
like that.
spotlight like new ideas that are like exciting going on out there and stuff, or like new techniques maybe.
Maybe we
I'm
can
not
even
sure.
ask them to make like a little video we can bloop right in here.
Yeah, I mean, well, they can be the guest. Like we do a spotlight and then have them be the guest and talk. They can talk about what they got going on the show.
Well, Two Moms had because they live streamed the whole thing. They had the thing that I want.
They'd
Remember I
probably come
told
on,
you
Melanie, and they'd probably come on.
they would
Yeah.
in a heartbeat.
All right, we'll see if we can get them on
But you know that
another
thing
time to
I
talk
said
about the
I
stuff.
wanted to get us for our call-ins, the what was I calling it? The Sheldon thing. Sit right at the end.
Oh,
Two Moms had something that was just like it because they were live streaming. So they had their employees wheeling
I
the
got
live
you.
stream around.
That's kinda funny.
It was really cool. And they had a little iPad on it. I would get something probably the size of your monitor at home, vertical, and put them here at the table with us. See how that works.
Yeah, I mean, I would go so far as to put and me and Chris were talking about this briefly before we started, was like my interest in tech and stuff, and that I'm like never really playing with tech as much right now because we're just doing And ultimately what I'd love to do is kind of mold my passion for tech and our passion for making stuff together so that I can add tech to crafts. So like even having
your
an
NFT chip.
articulating motor that just as easy as you want them, like right there, the person, I can make it so that they could just like swivel back and forth with just a button, left, right. Like that's very easy stuff.
Yeah, we don't have that.
For me, I mean, I take it for granted. It's very easy to articulate to get something to articulate like that.
I'd like to see that. Some cool things coming.
Yeah,
I think that
stuff.
they'll definitely come. I think the spotlight thing is perfect. Let's not forget about that. But yeah, they live streamed the whole thing, even the after party. I'm not sure. I guess they were live streaming it to their Facebook group. Oh no, TikTok. That's what we were doing. I think it was getting on TikTok. So it was really cool. I thought it was totally different. I've never heard of or definitely never been to an event that was like that. I think it was really neat. They were doing a lot of giveaways. So like we, as the glitter guy, also gave in for the big giveaways. You got a ticket when you came in.
Mm-hmm.
2-piece ticket. You put it in the little bin and all day.
Raffle.
But also each booth.
So they did door prizes.
Door prizes. Good word. Each booth did a giveaway too. And you know me, I don't like to go up and ask for things. And Mrs. Nola was there, and me and her are like, we're close now. I love her. I adore her. We vibe very well together. So
she's one of the names we're allowed to say now.
I know. I was like, you're gonna listen to Craft Tea, and you're gonna hear us talk about the damn orange glitter, and
that wasn't. Even
and she
that
laughed
big of a drama,
so
though,
hard. Well, I get nervous, and I was like, I just want you to hear it from me. And she was like, don't be silly. And I was like, well, I am silly. So, but me and her, we clicked back at TumblrCon. And we've been talking the whole time before the event because she knows that I get like nervous because there was people there that did not like me. We can touch on that a little bit.
Yeah. That's generally why we had to start that whole preface for the show was so that we can get to this part of it.
And some of them we won't even talk about because it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
But so me and her sat together for a little bit during the event, and then we found out that there was more tickets, and she was adorable. She had all of her tickets set out in front of her and David's, her husband, so that she could get double. He was out and about. And she's like, oh, what's the next, what do you mean? Where are they getting these tickets from? And I was like, I think we have to go ask the vendor booth. And I was like, will you give me a ticket? And she's like, if you get the next ticket. So we took turns going to each booth and getting 3 tickets, 2 for her, 1 for me. And one of them I did get on my own because I just happened to be at that booth at that time. And I got that ticket. I was 1 number away from winning.
That happens so often, though, I feel like, to us. I mean, I do generally
But Jerry won.
I do generally be hitting baskets a lot.
It was 1 number off. Jerry won. It was the heat press from Caesar. I wanted to win the Juliet, so it's not like...
I wish that you won the Juliet because I want to play with it.
I wish too.
Because we even reached out to them. We were like, hey guys, we got a good relationship and stuff. You think maybe you can send us one? Because these are the things that you probably think of, like, hey, perks of owning businesses and having relationships. You probably get access to stuff earlier for free. We never try to flex that card. We tried to flex that this time, and they're like...
It was the first time ever.
They're like, we don't even have any to give you.
Yeah, they didn't have any left.
Man! Like... What a letdown, Takes the wind out of your sails from ever wanting to, like, try again.
I do have a gift certificate to Michael's that I told Melissa I'm probably going to use to grab us one.
You have, like, yeah, I wish they sold them at, like, Hot Topic, because you have unlimited Hot Topic cash. Which somebody in Ohio would probably just get anyway.
Sidebar, someone hacked my Hot Topic account and was ordering stuff for 2 months before I figured it out. And I only figured it out because I went on there to see where my stuff was, which is a really cute skirt, really cute top. I was really excited for a little Mario planter, all stuff that I definitely don't need. And I'm like, all right, it should have been here by now. Let's take a look. And it was canned. First, remember, I was like, I need to go get my computer because Hot Topic says that I ordered a $390 watch.
Yep. And they said that you ordered it to be delivered that day. It like wasn't delivered yet. We're like, wait, what? You checked the address, right?
Long story short, someone had been doing this for 2 months and they canceled
2 months? They've been doing it since September.
No, I found out it was only the beginning of January. So, because Hot Topic's order history on the computer is so weird to look at. Everything's glitchy on their website. Gotcha. I hate it. But yeah, I forgot they've been calling me back. I hope that they
That was
ended it in
wild.
my
That
favor.
these people had hacked her account and were ordering things under her name so often that when Sarah went to order for real, Hot Topic thought she was the fraud, and it canceled her order.
And it wouldn't let me reorder it either because
Yeah.
for some reason I'm so attached to this damn outfit that I was going to reorder it even though I was mad
And it was
that
bold.
they let
We got
that
their
happen.
name. We got their name, their
Phone
address,
number.
their phone number. Because at first they started their name as a string of digits to just
4
do
digits.
the tester order. And then once it worked, you could tell they were probably like, all right, this is annoying, and she's never going to check this account.
They did a pickup in my name, in
So-
my maiden name.
So then the account is
They
straight
gave
up
it to them.
changed. Like, yeah, we have all. I was like, babe, we should just fly out there and meet up on the day that the watch is supposed to be delivered, and just be, I was here to
Pick
grab
up my
my watch.
watch.
You know what I mean? I realized it was getting delivered to the wrong address.
Wild. And
Crazy.
in the meantime,
How bold you can be to just put your own personal information on there when you're stealing people's stuff.
ironically, I had found out a week before the phone calls started coming in. Hello, Sarah Wildemuth, because they have my maiden name.
Mm-hmm.
You're scum. You don't pay your bills. Can you pay your bills today, please? Because you're overdue, and we're gonna hit you with some late fees. We
Dude, they
already
were
hit you
calling
with
me like
two
every
late
8
fees.
minutes. It was literally like every 8 minutes. And you were talking to them. It wasn't even like you were ignoring. You were like, hey, this is already being resolved. I already called fraud. There's a lot of issues happening with my account.
Last time
and
I
we're
ordered,
trying
I
to
had a
get-
zero
and-
balance. I'm not giving you no more money.
And they said that this is being figured out. And then they're like, okay, got it. And then 10 minutes later, they call again with the same thing. Like, what's happening?
They called me all weekend, and I didn't answer because I was, one, it's the weekend, and two, I'm away. So I got to call them back today and see
Yeah, the bill
if they
collect-
went in my favor.
The bill collectors that work for Hot Topic be doing their jobs. The fraud intervention people at Hot Topic, they be snoozing.
So, long story short, I almost won a heat press, but I was 1 digit off, and Jerry won it, which is good for her because she was one of the people that drove. Could you imagine if one of the flying people?
That's
Want a
what,
heavy
you're
heat
one of the
press?
flying people. That's why when you were like, oh, I was trying to win that. I'm like,
Well,
I
the
get
Juliet
it,
is what
but
I was trying to win, and they both came from the same. I didn't know she had 2 things to raffle off,
I get you could have had it just shipped home too.
and I would have, and we would have probably gave it away like they're gonna do anyway.
Why are you giving all the toys away?
They do it for their Patreon group.
I don't have a Patreon.
I know, but well, Jerry and Jess do, and they already have a heat press, so they wanted to bestow the kindness.
If you're
upon
listening
someone
now,
else.
look forward to our Patreon group where you might get a cricket press if Sarah ever wins one.
Specifically though, only a cricket press, and
That's
only if there is a contest that I can win one.
That's it.
So if you sign up on this non-existing Patreon, chances are you may or may not win a cricket heat press.
That's it.
And then, so Mrs. Nola went up and got the other set of tickets from Kelly DeFries, and she was giving away this Stanley Cup that she blinged out, valued at $1,200. And when I tell you that Mrs. Nola wanted nothing more than that freaking cup,
She did a Stanley Cup?
yeah.
Like hockey?
No, Stanley?
Oh, a stainless steel tumbler?
Yeah, but the brand.
It was when you say Stanley Cup,
I heard it now. Now I hear it.
that's immediate. Were you on the same page as
I
me?
heard Stanley Cup context. Yeah.
So,
I got excited. Like,
Mrs. Nola goes over and gets the 3 tickets, and she comes over to me and she goes like this. She says, you pick, and she had the backs to me. And so I picked the ticket, and we sat down. Don't you know she freaking wins the cup? I swear to God.
Miss Nola?
Yeah, we're sitting there, and she said, because it's a 6-digit number, so she said all 5 digits, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm 1 digit away. And I'm not paying attention to her at all. I'm paying attention to my own tickets. I'm 1 digit away. So then she says the next digit, and she must have froze because I had enough time, which wasn't like that amount of huge amount of time, but I had enough time to hear the number, realize that I did not win, but did realize that I was 1 number away. I'm turning to her to tell her my grief about being 1 digit away, and she, and everyone jumps, and she's like, I can't believe it. She won. But good for her, though, because she really, really wanted that cup. I mean, I really wanted that cup, but I didn't voice it as much as her, and it was really fun that she
I'm
won.
not sure if you would have given the same
1 digit away? I don't know. I don't win anything.
So
Maybe I
wait,
would have. Maybe I
so
would have
is this-
flipped some tables. I'm not really sure because I didn't win. Now we'll never know.
So is this 2 items that you were 1 digit away
Yeah.
from?
Oh yeah.
What
And that one of my
you didn't
friends
even tell
won
me about
though.
these things.
Well, now I'm telling you.
Essentially, everyone there was one of your friends, other than a couple of the people.
Yeah. And unfortunately, probably people that I have no idea because
Yeah, well, honestly, it's mostly because of those couple people, because they're almost trying to create like a little internment camp, like an anti TGG, or actually not even anti Sara Lively.
which is really unfair because they just go ahead and believe them because why not? Why would someone? I guess I think the same way. Why would someone just lie to me? But like they don't. No one gets my side of the story. No one even cares. You don't need to source my side of the story, but you don't have to hate me before you know it on anything. Anyway, some other things that I took away from the event, real quick, while we wrap this end up. Best cheese dip I've ever had is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Also,
I don't know why you didn't open with that. That sounds like an opener.
the medical dispensaries in there. I'm gonna use one word to describe them as janky. They're medical dispensaries.
What a word.
I passed by it and I was like, "That's open." And the guy was, yeah, that's the dispo. I was like, oh well, all right then, keep on going with medical, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And Cassie and Des got complaints from the hotel because we were all walking around with our tumblers. No one gave any thought to it, and most of us weren't even drinking out of them. We were just the casino. It's a casino bar and everything. So like I said, most of us were not even drinking out of our tumblers. We just wanted to show them off. And it was like midday Saturday, I think that someone came and told Cassie, and she had to put it in the group, like, guys, please don't have your tumblers at the casino. And after she said, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe we've just been walking around like this.
Yeah.
And but we're all proud of our cups. We're like, hey guys, this is my cup. This is my cup.
So our events at a casino.
Well, we're gonna have to get ahead of that. I ruined my dress.
Oh, our event is at a former casino.
True.
Not a casino anymore.
Now
it's a water park.
That dress that I ordered for the event, I ruined it.
You said it got wet, right?
Yeah, right before I left the house, I had my makeup bag, and I was going to put it in my book bag, but I had setting spray in there, and I'm like, you know what? They're going to make me throw this setting spray away because it's too much liquid to carry on. I'm going to put it in my check. So I just shoved it right in my check bag. Done. It broke. It was a little plastic thing when all this heavy stuff in my checked luggage going through the... Anyway, it made this huge stain right down the middle of my dress, and I found out 20 minutes before the party. Luckily, I'd shoved that other thing that I thought was a shirt into my bag in case I needed it for Friday night, and I knew that I was never going to wear it, but why not just bring it? And it wound up being a dress. It matched. I wore my sneakers with it that were also rose gold, and I had my bracelet that I stuck in there last minute, which was also rose gold.
It looked good. I am a little upset that you didn't get to wear that dress because you were excited about it. You got the dress
in 2 sizes.
It was a smidge big, and then you reordered it again. It came back in. It looked really great. Never got to wear it.
I think the dress that I wound up wearing looked a lot better on me than that one would have anyway. So it kind of was like one of those things that worked out. But
it can't be salvaged.
No.
Weak.
The party was so much fun though. They live streamed the party. We were dancing. They had a photo booth. Kelly DeFries from Crystal Ninja got a photo booth for the event and a photographer. So when you came in, you got your pictures taken. And they're going to give 2 moms all of the photos so we can put them online. But I got to keep some of the hard copies because you know I am about the hard copies. And I think other than some other things, that's what I took away from that event.
I mean, that's a lot for a short event.
It's a lot of fun.
Like, I think you got to, and like I said, we're going to get into some more of the stuff too. So like that was all the fun stuff. We'll get into more of the dramatic stuff. But you wouldn't have had so much, I don't think, to talk about if it was a lot more of a traditional type event because you would have just been sitting at a booth. You would have been like,
busy.
Hey, I met a lot of people and I sold some glitter and I shook
it's a
some
blur
hands,
and I'm tired.
And yeah, like also I slept the whole day when I got back, which she still did that anyway. But for different reasons, for being exhausted from actually socializing, just actually like moving around and socializing, not just being stuck in that box of a booth.
So we have been at this whole crafting thing, not crafting thing, let's just say the glitter thing, right? The whole glitter thing since 2018. And there has been quite a lot of things that have happened to us that are not so nice that we just don't talk about ever. We just take it on the chin and go on with our days, and we deal with it between me and you. We don't ever tell anyone unless people need to know. And I mean, granted, we started doing that to subside the drama, but also like we never clear our names, and that's something that's getting very, I'm being very aware of lately. That I'm hearing these stories, and I'm like, none of that is true.
Yeah,
first of all,
because we always try our best, and I said it as soon as we started this company. Literally, the day we started this company, said, "Listen, a lot of these business owners." In this field are generally, I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this, but generally female. And I apologize, but females can be a little more catty than males and get a little more emotional about topics and use that to influence decisions, especially when it comes to business. And I was not going to get into business with a partner like that. And you're my partner. So I said, we're just going to keep our heads above the drama whenever it happens, because it's going to be inevitable. It's going to be inevitable. I know it's going to happen.
It didn't even start out good, because the reason that you were saying that stuff to me is because I was crying to you literally every night because they made that hate group about me, remember? I'm not even going to say it, and it doesn't exist anymore anyway, but I mean, it didn't say I hate Sarah Lively, but it might as well had. They were just mean. Oh my goodness. They were just mean in that group. And I was crying to you every day, and you're like, ignore them. I'm like, I can't. They're on the internet. And I did. And I did ignore them eventually, and it felt a lot better after it was gone.
Yeah, so it's always been my feeling, like, especially because I know I was trying to use that as a power too. If people are going to use, if our competitors are going to use emotion at their disposal, if something isn't necessarily going their way, that's probably business-wise going to go in my favor, because they're going to make rash decisions and they're going to do things that they probably shouldn't be doing, which has happened more often, honestly, than not to us.
Yeah.
When it comes to a lot of our competitors. We've just generally turned the other cheek. But to some extent, I think it is appropriate for us to, talk about some of the stuff that's happened, because it's like kind of, it's not gotten to the point of like out of hand, I guess. It's just, but it's gotten to the edge of out of hand. I feel like it's gotten really, really close. It's definitely crossed the line a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, like, you never want anything to escalate to like real world stuff, but also like the internet is real too, and people just treat it like it's not, being like keyboard warriors a lot of the time too.
So there is definitely one story that has circulated. I wouldn't say it's a very popular story because their reach isn't that big, but there's definitely a story out there that we have not been able to ever get our side out of. We just let that side just go ahead. You guys all believe that, and we're just going to keep on going because it was easier for us emotionally that way, and to hopefully not fuel the fire. That's the problem, is when you say your side, you're fueling the fire and making it worse. But also, like, you're trying to clear your name on the same, and there's no good. I've never found a good middle ground, I guess.
Yeah, so I know what we're about to get into, but I have like a smaller little thing that lends to it. So with this whole thing, when everybody started just. Not even started, when everybody is just so like bullyish or like rude online and stuff, I think generally they have this sense of like security, like, I'm never going to see you in person, so who cares? You know what I mean? But now with the way that the pandemic is over pretty much, and live events are a lot more happening, and now just about everybody is throwing their own version of a live event. Now we are seeing people in person. And I don't think that was taken into consideration a couple years ago when people were just haphazardly talking shit. So it makes the situation like so much more crazy even. Like, because to the point that one of the very first live events that we went to, which was at this time last year, it was at I don't mind mentioning the event. It was at CultureCon's event. But like, we found out later that one of the companies that we knew that was going to be there that doesn't like us changed their booth arrangement.
Drug it.
Yeah, drug their table to a spot that wasn't even meant for a booth. That was unavailable for a booth. It was actually meant to be like fire exit hallway.
And
but they just drug it there to be like awkwardly directly across from us. And what I feel like is like, one, what did that like accomplish? Like some awkward intimidation factor? Because I had a great weekend. My booth was actually beyond busy the whole time. I taught a class that was actually a lot of fun to teach. I had a whole lot of fun that weekend.
Remember we caught her video recording me?
Yeah. This is like multiple times.
And it's someone that I thought forgot about me because I had to block her personally. She got so crazy with me and like coming at me so hard for one. I had nothing to do with what she's saying I had anything to do with. Yeah. So I literally had to block her on my personal page, ban her from all of our groups so that I would be out of sight and out of mind and she would forget about me. And I forgot about her. And then when she came back on my page, when people were like, there's some shit being talked. And I'm like, where? And then...
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah, so that's why I just wanted to start with that, because that was really our first live event, expo, convent, whatever you want to call it, that we participated in that wasn't our own, was later that year. So that was the first one, and literally first one,
I couldn't believe she drugged that table all the way to sit in front of us.
Someone makes an effort to make it weird. So that's just it has been from day one when it comes to live events for us. That why? I didn't even know that they were going to be there. That means that somebody took the time to do their research on who exactly is going to be there, which I get that a little bit. But they were doing their research for different reasons. They wanted to see if we were there specifically, find out where we were located, make sure that they could position themselves in an awkward place across from us. And what
it was intentional that we were separated in the beginning too.
Yeah. And it's just because the people that are hosting it just want to have a good event. And it's you just decided that your personal drama is more important than the person that's actually hosting the event. And this is the stuff that I said is we need to always rise above, because why would we get invited back to an event if we're just going to be catty?
Also,
let's not be catty.
Stupid.
Let's be professional. We're at a professional event. We're here to spread our business name, and we're here,
I just want to have fun and get along with everyone, and people hate that. Well, not everyone, but there is a group of people.
Yeah.
So anyway, can we talk about fall of 2020?
It was just what happened was, it came to our attention that
someone sent me a screenshot of the name.
Was a new glitter seller, and big deal. There's a million new glitter sellers every day.
I'm friends
but this
with
one in particular had a name very similar to mine. And it was just about identical. And it was just weird. So, very quickly, I just went into my company's order history and typed in the name of the peoples that started this business. And it was 3 months prior. They were what was their last order? They were
actually that time year before.
Is that what I mean? Yeah, whatever. But either way, it's not
they know.
Immediately the concept of, oh, I didn't know you existed, or I didn't know you had that name, or I didn't know, that got thrown out the window. For me, it became immediately an egregious attempt at creating
SEO.
A parody to make money off of my company's name. I spent years already at this point at building my brand, at building everything up. You did nothing at all.
So much hard work.
Nothing at all.
It's
and
fine.
You just tried to cash in on my effort. So yes, I sent a cease and desist immediately, because that's the professional thing to do. You know why? Because I'm not a keyboard warrior. I'm not going to send some message and crazy, because what happened after the fact was all kinds of messages were sent back, or actually, and which we didn't answer any of them. So then all kinds of internet videos were made, and they're just you could have just as easily sent me a message and I would have changed my name. And
no, I'm not going to do that.
No, you would not have.
You would not, no.
Because you made that name that on purpose.
They wanted to antagonize
us. Because you knew what my company was. It existed already. So, I don't understand. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. You're not borrowing the name. You took my company name.
So here's a good example of not being able to tell your side of the story, right? Because initially that person's chief complaint was the wording in the letter of the cease and desist. And I'm just going to say it right now that me and you did not agree with that wording. And what happened immediately after that is that lawyer got fired.
Yeah.
We parted ways with that lawyer, and I liked him. I really liked him up until that letter, and I get it. Like, the thought process I'm there for. Like, he was just being very defensive for us, but the wording was not, it wasn't inappropriate, whatever. But it's definitely not the words that we would have used. And again, it was not
like
inappropriate. And I didn't write it. And I'm not going to call you up on the phone and tell you that lawyer got fired for the way that he worded that letter, because that's irrelevant and that's none of his business. It's done. I rectified that situation, and I no longer give that lawyer any money because of that. And we got a new trademark lawyer. But regardless, like, the lives were too much, and getting sent all these videos all the time. I think I was like crying like three nights a week.
Like I said, I was like, ignore everything. This is our way. We ignore stuff. Turn the other cheek. We rise above it. And we had no opportunity to ignore anything because we are, fortunately and unfortunately, surrounded by a great team of like admins and influencers, but 100% of them are female. So they do generally thrive in the drama camp. So I get it. Like, you want to defend Sara, but it can be a little gaslighty because we know that it's happening. So it's like, I don't need to see it necessarily, but firsthand, we saw exactly what was happening. Like, literally dressing up like you.
Because when we ignored them, it got worse.
Calling you like derogatory term.
Which he then said that he did it, and we still have the video of him saying it.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing, is like, I try my best to just not let the emotions flare up and do rash decisions. So when I hear things like this happen, I collect my thoughts and I figure out whatever the best thing is. So I find out that somebody's making crazy derogatory videos about my wife online and people know where to find them. I screen cap all of them. All of them. I have every single video this guy ever made saved on the hard drive of my computer.
And we didn't have to do anything. Other people did it for us.
No. And did I go anywhere with it? No. Because like I said, I just wanted to stop. I never wanted it to start.
We thought we were going to have to actually call another lawyer.
Then it was like creating glitter names after us. Then it was like, more videos.
The dressing up like me was very hurtful.
Yes, it's crazy.
It was very hurtful. And then the things that he did and the pictures that he took and the things that he said while he was dressed up like me was over the top mean. I can't even explain it to you. Like, wow.
And then like literally, even like one of the things after we sent the cease and desist, he was like physically threatening me from like across the country. And it's like, over a cease and desist, like, you're telling me that I'm being the child, but like you want to have a school ground, like, meet me at the flagpole because you tried to steal my trademarked, licensed, years of work idea.
The only
my brain
thing
of like the crazy world that you live in to think that you're obligated to my effort.
The only thing that we did was ask them to choose any other name for their company other than the one name out of all the names that we've had for 4 years, and it's trademarked, it's mine, I got all that, you know what I mean? Like,
how easy is it to just not steal someone's name? We talked about it with glitter names, like, you know what I mean?
And then how's he not in the wrong at all? Because those videos that he would say, he was literally riling people up against us. He was raising this whole tiny army against us and would never, ever say any, like, he was like, they did this, they did that. But did you ever, for 1 second, explain to them what you did?
Never gave context of why a cease and desist was sent. Never said, hey guys, I was a former customer of theirs. I thought they have a great name and product and I thought I could make money off of it. That's not how the conversation ever started, but that is exactly what their business model is.
They lost what does suck for them, and I'm going to chalk it up to karma, is that they lost quite a lot of customers when people put 2 and 2 together, because I have my inbox for like 2 straight weeks was full. The message requests were ridiculous from people from that group saying that they initially joined and they were having fun, and then they were hearing the stories and they were putting it together, and they were like, but the name, and then the name, because they knew us, so they knew exactly who they were talking about. So you got a cease. Okay, I'm just gonna back out. Let's just back out here. I see what's happening, and you're somewhat in the wrong here, buddy.
Yeah, and it's just so funny because like it's a great
they lost a lot of customers. They don't even know.
They have, even still have, a great opportunity to just like stop being petty and use the like idea that you had, because I get it. I get the whole like the vision for what the brand is, and like basically it's like a rated R company, which I get because there are so many rated R crafters. Like there's probably even more rated R crafters than rated PG crafters, honestly.
Yeah, and they're fun.
Yes. But you can have that fun without doing it at somebody else's expense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't have to be mean. It doesn't have to, and they don't even see it. They don't see. I don't understand how, but there's a ton of people, and it's not just me, that just don't see me as a person.
No. Yeah.
And it happens to so
thing.
many other people. They're just so mean. They don't think that the words that you're saying about me don't hurt my feelings, because although that you don't mean anything to me, it does hurt. They still hear that.
You're not a real human. You haven't been through anything in your life. You haven't tried, to accomplish anything. You have, nope, none of that matters.
I'm sure that this will wind up.
That's why the live event stuff, I think, is kind of changing stuff. I'm wondering if perhaps that's why this person was trying to lend maybe an olive branch at the event, or maybe
I don't know if that was
maybe it was a backhanded, still kind of jab type of thing. Who knows? But either way, yeah, that person was at the event.
And when I agreed to go to this event, I had no idea. I don't think that I would have agreed to go if I would have known ahead of time. But I was already in, like, you know what I mean? The flights were already going. I had already told Cassie and Des we were coming. And then when I thought about, I was going to back out because I found out that they were going. I thought about how I would do that. I'm like, what do I say? Do I make up an excuse and tell Cassie, or do I tell Cassie the truth and then open her up to all this drama that she don't need? It's not, I don't need to be putting that on her plate. She's got enough on her plate. So like, what do? I ignored it. I chalked it up. I put my big girl pants on, I smoked a whole lot of weed, and I went. And their girls were like, because, I brought the concentrate pen, and once we get there, I was like, the whole time. And they were like, Sarah, how much do you have for the whole week? And I'm like, not enough. I was freaking out, but I get nervous because I don't want people to dislike me for no reason also, and I don't want people, I didn't know what that was going to be like. I didn't know what was going to happen. I just felt very uncomfortable. You weren't there.
We're generally non-confrontational people.
No, I'm not.
I literally try my best to be non-confrontational so much. And then that's why when I do explode, it's because I'm like, whoever backed me in this corner, that's the only reason that this explosion is happening. Yeah. Because I know that I tried to get out of this. My thing is like, I am flight before everything. Because I just don't, like, what's the point, man? What is the point?
It would have been the whole event, the situation with him, with the the drink thing. It would have been different had he come up to me at any point in there and just said sorry. I think I would have probably accepted it.
Maybe that's what the drink was for.
I don't know. I feel like words, when you do that much stuff to someone else, you know what I mean? There's no trust. Well, I had no trust.
I'm with you.
I had no trust. I thought I was getting set up for something, and I was scared.
I would say that you probably were.
I was scared.
I would still believe that. Yeah,
but had
I just don't think that
there been an apology, I would have accepted it because that's in my nature.
Yeah, I don't think there's any like humanity. I think it's just some scumbag stuff going on over there.
No, I was very scared of what would have happened next, and I was having a really good time, and I just wanted to keep on having a good time. They were playing some really great songs. We were all singing. It was a great time.
And even the first convention person that I mentioned to preface it, they were there as well, right? Yeah. So it was like that's why I don't go.
People don't think that
so it was like, why don't you ever want to go to anything? And I was like,
It was weird.
I'm just not there. You know what I mean? Like I err on the side of not going to these things because I don't have to deal with that situation at all then.
I kind of want these people to give me a list, right? Or give anyone the list of the 3 reasons they don't like me. So I just want to see them on paper, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, well, that's not true, and that's not true.
Yeah, you were born.
I get blamed often for things
breathing.
that people make up or that I didn't do. But yeah, I'm sure that there's going to be backlash for this, but it'll be smooth, I'm sure. I hope. Here we go. I'm going to ignore it.
Yeah,
like I do everything else.
That's like what the point of this was, though. I'm glad that we were able to drag some of this out.
It was like 7 or 8 months that they. Remember, I kept saying, how often would you beat a dead horse? How often do you beat someone that plays dead?
This I would love to say was going on, but it is generally still going on because, like, I mean,
they found someone else to put their sights on. And I'm I'm not name dropping anyone, but they turned to someone else, and that person was luckily someone that fueled fire too, and they were fueling each other's fires, and I have no idea what even came of that, but they're probably still fueling each other's fires.
Yeah,
I'm sure they forgot about me.
I'm sure we might have diverted attention back in our direction.
Oh yeah. But it's over now. It's over now.
Exactly.
My side's out there, and that's all that I felt like it was fair enough for me to put out there what we went through. I didn't say anything that was anything that could possibly be made up. I told what I went through from my point of view.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to.
Telling you, I got tape. Yeah, but we that's really a very lengthy wrap up of the weekend and that stuff, but we have some more exciting stuff coming up this week. With another trip. We're getting on a plane again.
Well, that's going to be me and you, though. That's not a work trip.
No, but even the rest of today is going to be crazy. This is like our schedules.
Oh my God, I got so much to do.
Our schedules get so wild sometimes, but like I'm putting together like a box for us right now, and I can even talk about it right now because by the time this episode airs, it will already be like available.
Yup.
So that's what I'm going to get back to working on as soon as we stop talking on here.
I'm going to go mix glitters.
I have, like, what was it? Probably 2 months ago now. Yep. I smashed my hands because
it was January.
We're cleaning the warehouse out, got big dumpster, put the dumpster out at the loading dock.
Didn't ask nobody for help.
No. And this was one of the days, and trust me, if you think everything is sunshine and rainbows when it comes to business partners being married, it's not. So this was just one of the days that wasn't as sunshine and wasn't as rainbow. So
you weren't even talking.
Yeah, we weren't. That's why I didn't want to be around anybody. I was like, I'm going to go and do. Honestly, those days. Now, don't get me wrong. I never want to fight with my wife, but those days I get more warehouse stuff done because I don't want to be around anyone. So I kind of seclude myself to the warehouse and I do warehouse work. So we got a ton of warehouse stuff to clean up. Sarah and I have a bunch of trucks.
Just a bunch.
Yeah.
It's literally a bunch.
We're in an Air Ride Truck Club. Grounded for life. What's up? But one of our trucks are getting worked on. I have a bunch of extra parts there, and it was a spare back seat. And, like, it's an SUV back seat. So, like, the back seat flips down. I'm carrying it to the dumpster to loading dock. And I have it like bear hugged, and I go to just toss it in the dumpster. What happens is right when I'm like leaning forward, the seat portion flips down and it readjusts the weight of the seat. And what happens is when that flipped down, it exposed the 2 bars that are like the main supports. And that literally took both of my hands.
And it's cold out, you guys.
Oh yes, it was like 20 degrees, and I am not wearing gloves, no work gloves, no nothing. So my hands at the same time slam down onto the edge of the dumpster, so steel, and then the seat falls, boom, both bars on top of both my hands at the same time, and it was like white hot lightning, you know, like where you like everything's white for a second, you're like, holy shit. So I credit myself a little bit in these situations. I've been hurt a couple times, but for some reason, I am good at keeping my composure in emergency situations, especially if it happens to me. Like, I can be like impaled and I'll be like, okay, let's think about what happened. So I stopped for a second and it hurt so bad that I wasn't sure if I lost fingers. Like, it was bad. So I stopped, had to actually flip the seat off of my hands, and I look and I'm like, all right, they're all here. And nothing was like crazy colorful yet. Nothing was crazy swelling, but it was all very cold and numb, not comfortable. And I knew that I was on a time crunch at this point. I'm like, I have to get ice, I have to get seated, and I have to get myself some water. So I'm like, I'm in the back of the warehouse. I'm as far away from anyone that could hear me as possible. So if something happened where I'd like blacked out there, nobody would have found me for like a while.
Which is the same thing happened before with the assembly line, but
Yes.
please keep going.
Another time I hurt myself at work. So I go quick to the break room. I open the freezer and there's Freezy Pops in there. I'm like, thank fucking God.
One of our
This is
employees used to
perfect.
always eat Freezy
So I grab a
Pops.
handful of Freezy Pops and I put them on my messed up fingers on my middle. My middle finger is what hurts the most on my right hand, and it's my pinky on my left hand. But the pinky, I'm like, that one can kind of just sit to the side for now. Make it into the room, sit into the chair in the office.
You were by yourself for a minute.
I look next to me. Fortunately, I had a half a bottle of water on my desk. I'm chugging it and it's gone. Got the ice there and I'm white as a ghost, probably just about getting ready to pass out. Because I'm losing energy by the second. And I knew it. That's why I had to get to a chair. So I get in there. Like I said, Sarah and I aren't on good terms today. So Sarah walks in and she sees me and says, with attitude, go ahead.
At first, I didn't even acknowledge that you were there. I'm just like doing my own thing because you got a nasty attitude.
Yeah,
we're all
that's what
going
we
on
do.
with the day. And I look over, I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, because he's just sitting there. And
trying not to pass out.
He did. Because that's the thing, though. If you get angry, you will just sit and zone out. And I'm like, great, what is it now? What have I done? Quickly drop that attitude, though, because you were like trying not to pass out. And I'm like, why? And that's when I realized what's happening. I realized that there's freeze pops on your fingers. You're freaking pale. I'm freaking out now. You explained to me what just happened. The next few steps are somewhat of a blur, but I kind of remember running around trying to find something to wrap that was better than the stupid, what are they, Z-fold? No, the Z-fold paper towels.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Patty, I ran and got Patty. Me and Patty are on a hunt for better things to wrap your freaking
and you're
fingers
getting
in.
the employees scrambling for stuff for me, and they don't know what's going on.
I will get to that because I forgot about that. So me and Patty does understand what's going on. So me and Patty are running around. Patty comes in the office. I'm in the showroom. Patty meets me in the showroom and she's like, Jason doesn't look good, Sarah. He really doesn't look good. He's got to go to the hospital. I'm like, you make him go to the hospital then, Patty, because I'm already trying. He's not going. He said no because that was the first thing I said. I said, we're going to the hospital right now. Those fingers are purple.
Listen,
let's go.
Jason doesn't go.
They're not going to do
doctors
anything.
For most things. And especially, and I hope that somebody listening will agree with me, for finger injuries.
I get what you were saying.
They don't do shit. They will look at it. It could be obliterated. And they will tape that son of a bitch to the finger next to it and say, put some ice on it, take some ibuprofen, come back in 4 to 6 weeks. So I was not about to have them charge my insurance for one, let alone waste any of my damn time in like the hustle and bustle of going to a goddamn hospital with a mask and everything right now. Again, you know what I mean? Like,
so me and Patty are yelling at each other because I'm like, she's like, he has to go to the hospital. I'm like, you tell him to go to the hospital. I already tried. He ain't listening to me. And I'm looking for these damn paper towels. So I find them. Or I found something and I'm in there, me and Patty are in there, and I got to really see truly how pale you had become since I left the room. And now my alarms are up. Patty's like, I swear to God, I'm calling an ambulance right now. Patty's like got her phone out. She's calling an ambulance. She's screaming at you. I'm screaming, I'm calling Kathy, his sister. I'm calling Kathy right now. Because Kathy would have told you one thing or another too. Not that I think that would have done anything. Me and Patty were just freaking panicking. I'm like shoving crackers down your throat. Like,
yep, that was what I needed when you gave me the crack, because I didn't have lunch that day either.
And I bought crackers for the baby. They were just Ritz.
Yep. and they're actually, that sleeve is still sitting on my desk. But I like shoved half a sleeve of crackers down my throat, chugged another bottle of water, and just sat there and like allowed the adrenaline and everything to flow through my system, and the color came back to my skin. Everything got better. But what I wanted to express this story for was that it's taken weeks, but my fingers, what I believe is happening now is they're trying to actually heal for real inside whatever happened. It's my assumption that I obliterated the knuckle, that I just turned it into like a bunch of shattered rocks, because I can still bend my hands. I can still use everything. I got pretty much full dexterity, but if my finger stays in one place too long, like let's say I'm doing a lot of office work and I'm at my computer holding a mouse for like a couple hours, when I go to stretch my middle finger, kills. It's like it started healing and everything needs to be stretched again. If I touch the knuckle, like I can tap it, but if I slapped my knuckle, it's like that day is happening all over again, the pain. So today, I am finally going to a hand specialist. Sarah was like, can you go to a damn doctor?
There's no time.
So, of course, I finally look up doctors, and they're all, like, booked up forever. I made this appointment, like,
at least 2 or 3 weeks
days ago. Yeah. And this was the first one that I could get. But, of course, it's the day before we go away. I have to leave work an hour early to get there. We found out yesterday, not found out, but we realized yesterday that we forgot to book the kennel for the dog for when we go away.
Cue the irresponsible dog parents.
So I got that all figured out, but he's got to get dropped off after work. So if anybody heard his barking during the episode in the background at all, he's at the office today. So the day is going to be busy, but I am so excited to crank through it.
My favorite thing about the finger thing was when Chris and Sean came in the room and we're like half-ass explaining what happened. And I'm pretty sure that they thought it was just because you didn't eat. And they're like, oh, do you need like something else? And it was a minute, right? Before we told you, oh no, he smashed his fingers. Guys, wait, we forgot a big part. He smashed his fingers.
And I was like, dude, have you eaten?
Yeah.
And I didn't eat, and I smashed my hand, so it was like a double whammy.
And the look on you and Sean's face when the replies were given was kind of like, all right, so then why don't you just eat?
Yeah,
like, and it was at least a full minute before I was like, oh no, there's an injury, we're injured.
Yeah, we got through it though, and but that's gonna get done today, and then we finally, I know it's gonna be a lot, and we still haven't even started packing. I know you said you haven't even started unpacking from Oklahoma, but once that's all finally done and we figure out how we're actually gonna get to the airport, because that's not figured out either,
I gotta tell Patty to take us,
then we can just look forward to, at least for me, for the first time, and I know you say that I have all these opportunities go away, but
it's not your jam. This is your jam.
It's a little vacation for me, and I'm stoked because this is the first time that we're going to Florida.
That's
especially me, that I don't have an agenda ever.
Yeah.
Like my first time ever. Anytime, I've been to Florida probably 20 times, and it's either Disney or Universal or Hurricane with work.
Never for anything else.
Never, ever is it just open, like, let's go. And we're even told that. We're told so many times, dude, go to Florida and don't go to the theme parks. Go do one of the other things. Go do a smaller theme park.
We have so many friends in Florida.
We have family in Florida. We got friends in Florida. There's, like, so many things. We just go to the Keys or something and you know, do a more relaxing. But instead, we always choose the most exhausting, quote-unquote, vacation, which is a Disney/Universal vacation. Nobody that has ever gone to Disney/Universal has come back and been like, wow, that was refreshing. Nobody. It is walking, it is money spending, and it is lines and rides.
We better get to work.
I know. I
have some twisted tea, but I think that it's better I save it because we'll be here forever and there's some really good stories, but I'm going to save them because I want to give them their due so they can look forward to that for next week. Don't be sad. There's 4.
All right. We'll hold them.
I got glitter to mix.
How long's it been?
You guys are just about an hour.
Yeah.
Hour 5.
All right.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is good. And then we'll
My
have...
glitter won't mix itself. And I gotta tell Patty that she's taking us to the airport tomorrow. She has no idea.
Yeah.
Is the tea time sensitive?
No.
Okay, good.
We'll have a bunch more to talk about when we get back to, because
Your family's wild.
Yeah,
And I can't wait.
We have a wedding in Jupiter, Florida, and if I've never been to Jupiter, Florida, I only know pictures because I know we're about to get out of here. I'm sorry, but little
you do your
backstory
roundup.
here. Why this is going to be a little more interesting. My aunt and uncle divorced years ago when I was younger.
Yeah, eons ago.
My aunt then remarried, who was then a millionaire. His mother owned Smiley Times in like Newtown, PA. He inherited it, sold it, did smart investing. He is with a B billionaire now, and lives in now these things. Some of the facts could have changed because, like I said, I just don't hang out with that part of the family a lot. But they sold everything in Newtown, moved down to Florida, live in a gated community in Jupiter that P. Diddy has a house in the same gated community. Not even kidding.
Think we'll see.
Like, they don't have, like, a guest room. They have a guest house. They have a Lincoln Navigator that is there for use for guests. And I know this stuff because my mom would go. Like I said, remember when I said my mom would, like, if you give her the opportunity to live like the other side, she will take it and run with it. She had that opportunity. Any time that she could go on vacation, she would just go down to Florida, stay at the guest house, and hang out with all the rich people.
It was different. That was her sister-in-law. They had a real big, relationship. You were a kid.
And it's like, so my cousin Stephanie is the one that's getting married. Her sister Bridget just got married, and her wedding was actually up here, but Bridget lives down there.
Ironic.
I am bad with the detail stuff, but Bridget's husband, Jordan, who's like, every time we get to go down and see them, he's like the coolest dude, and I feel like we'd get along so much better, but we never have like the time to really hang out and stuff. But he is like, his dad is like, I don't know, some important politician or something.
He was the mayor
in Florida of like Orlando or something like that.
Orlando.
It's something. That's why I said I'm not sure of the specific details, but like all of their best friends, all their parents own all the nightclubs in Florida and stuff. So like when you watch my cousin's Instagram stories and stuff, it is like watching MTV.
Oh yeah,
no joke. And we talk about it all the time, like the islands that they have, the pig island with the pigs and stuff.
That they take their
people
yacht
talk
to.
about that. They literally have their own little yacht, and because Jordan, his nickname's like Captain Walland, right, or something like that, because they like take the board out, their boats out all the time, and that's their weekend. Like for us, you'd think like, man, someday I want to go to Pig Island and like swim with the pigs, and they're just like, hey, it's Saturday, you want to swim with the pigs? And when they opened up the gates to Cuba and stuff, they went to Cuba right away, and she had awesome pictures because everything in Cuba, it's like time traveling because they were cut off from the world for so long. So their taxis are like 1950s cars. So
and your cousins are so freaking pretty.
This is why I'm so excited.
Pretty.
Oh yeah, like it's my
both of them.
My family
and
was
Lexi,
my family's like super blessed with in the gene pool.
You're good looking too.
That's why I said my family's super blessed. Thank you. I was trying to keep myself in the camp.
I was thinking about that when I watched you sleep last night.
But this is why I'm just like so excited for it, because like I never got to go down. I'm invited a lot. Like I said, I'm invited to even my own family things, and I opt out because I am generally just a homebody a little bit. But we have like an open house at my Aunt Winnie's like mansion at that like gated community. I finally get to see it in person. I'm like so excited.
We don't really get to even talk to her. I talked to her at the showers a little bit.
Yeah, they just every time.
She's always super nice. Comes up to me, makes sure that says hi.
I hope that they have some of the stuff planned for this weekend for like nightlife stuff that we see them do, because it'd be cool, to go to the clubs. They're literally all the bottle service stuff at all the clubs and everything, all the nightlife in Orlando. That's like her Instagram reels and stories, and she's not even an influencer getting paid for it. Like this,
and you're a big drinker, so
it's just what she does.
The joke's funny because he doesn't drink at all.
I don't drink at all.
Like
not my thing.
It's been like almost 4 years now.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I think that's something that we can definitely talk about when we get back. I think it'll be a good, different pace, and actually relaxing time with family. Like you said, my family.
The Falcons are loose in Jupiter,
crazy,
you guys.
Crazy, dude. My family is crazy. So
Erica's got no babies down there.
We're
all gonna be popping off.
Yeah. So let's get focused up. We'll get the rest of this day going.
I guess I'll
get everything popping and buttoned up. And look forward to catching you guys next week. And in the meantime, let's get back to work.
We're making tea. And when making tea, always bring the pot to the kettle and never bring the kettle to the pot.
Now, pour the tea.